Can you smell that?
Okay guys, carrying on from the previous video, so I put the slurry in a blunt syringe. Adults only need 1 milliliter, babies need half a milliliter. These blunt syringes you can pretty much bulk buy on eBay really cheap. So I did that, and to give your gecko the slurry, you want to put a dab of it on their nose. Try to avoid the nostrils so they don't plug up, and do not spray this in your gecko's mouth because there's a really big chance it could choke. One of the techniques I found that work is once your gecko starts licking its nose, if you put the syringe near it so it accidentally it taps the syringe, it gets like a drip of the slurry on its tongue, that sort of works. But I do that and then give her a break, so if she does have that all in her mouth she can properly swallow it and she doesn't choke. Another tip I will say is put down a towel or some kitchen roll or something that this can drip on when you're feeding it to your gecko, because you may be able to see it dripped all over my jeans and that stunk of dog food and they need to be washed. It was just, yeah, horrible. So I learnt my lesson that way and I had to use some sort of towel afterwards. Gizmo's reaction was okay. I mean, it was good that she was finally taking some protein in, considering she's not really interested in the live food. However, she's not like the biggest fan. It did take a long time to feed the 1 milliliter to her. That's another thing. You have to be really patient. This can take like half an hour to do because it's just a drip at a time, and 1 milliliter, I didn't think it would last that long, but it really can do. The next day I was really pleased to see she had gone to the loo. It was a bit smaller than usual, but to be fair, that's kind of expected. She's not eating live food, this is just a liquid diet. But it's good to see that it's all working. If you are feeding this to multiple geckos, I would personally recommend getting multiple syringes and labelling them so they each all have one, just because you never really know what you could be passing on from one gecko to the other. So, as I said, I bulk bought these on eBay. I think I got 10 for about £2 if you include postage. When I fed this to Minnie and Ziggy, their reactions were very different. Minnie probably is likes this the least. She really isn't a big fan, and it actually took 2 feeding sessions to give this to her. I started in the afternoon and then I had to give her the rest in the evening. As for Ziggy, this literally lasted less than 5 minutes. She lapped it down, she really enjoyed it. She could probably have eaten more, but I only gave her a milliliter. But yeah, that's to be expected. The reaction to the slurry does vary, so you might have a gecko that loves it, or you might have one that you have to sit there for half an hour and try to get it to drink a drip at a time. As for storing the slurry, you would have seen in my previous video that I put it all in ice cube trays. This allows it to be stored for longer, but once you need to use it, just take out a cube at a time. I put one in a cup and put it in a microwave. I defrosted it for 35 seconds, as you may be able to see, but after this I did do it for a further minute and that completely defrosted it all. Once that was defrosted, I left it to cool for room temperature and then it was ready to use. When you want to use it, you can put this back in just a fridge, but people say leave it for 2 to 3 days, some people say leave it 3 to 4 days. I'm going to just go for leaving it 3 days, go straight in the middle, and then you just chuck it out. But you trust me, the amount of slurry you make with this, you will have so much. So why did I give this to Gizmo and my other geckos? If you've seen it in some of my previous video, I mentioned about my geckos are ovulating, they've decided to go off their food, and turns out a lot of you are experiencing the same thing. Back in February, I weighed Gizmo and she weighed 60 grams, which is a little bit higher than average for her. I weighed her a week ago and she had dropped 12 grams. She is now only 48. And that kind of rang alarm bells, and I was like, I really need to try this slurry out now because she is refusing food and she doesn't look great being skinny. She's quite a broad gecko, so if she loses weight, you can really tell, and when I hold her, she feels so light, so I was like, I need to try this. Another thing is, my geckos at the moment, the pheromones that are flying around in that room must be crazy, because I actually woke up to hearing Diego wag his tail, like, you know how males wag their tail to attract a female? He must really be able to like pick up the scent of the females in a room. They're all ovulating, their hormones are crazy in the room, so I just need to get this Slurry and get them to snap out of it. I did say, I think in a previous video, that Gizmo's reabsorbed her egg. She actually has a new one now. I saw it the other day, there's a new one in there. Ziggy is definitely ovulating. I'm not 100% sure about Minnie, but they're being a bit fussy with their food. So I'm gonna hope this works, and I'm thinking of maybe doing a week update. So we'll see if Gizmo's weight has changed, whether she's on the live food, and how everyone else is doing. So I know you guys probably want the results quicker because you want to see whether it'll work with your geckos, but we can't really rush these things. We've got to play the week out and see how it goes. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this has helped, and goodbye.